you tweeted something about
I'm gonna
wanting
face
to
this towards that camera. There you go. So
you wanted to test what you do on a streaming platform, and then you tagged a bunch of streaming platforms, which I loved because I was just imagining the meeting rooms in those streaming platforms being like, "Did you guys see this tweet from MrBeast?"
And the funny part is we're already in talks with a lot of them, so a lot of them were like, "Why'd you do that? Like we already are talking." I'm like, I just thought it'd be funny, and they're like, "Yeah, but we're already talking about a show," and like, so it's kind of funny.
Why do you want to do that? Like, why do you want to take what you do and put it on a streaming platform?
Yeah, so, well, you know, the thing is, like, YouTube is great, obviously. I love YouTube, and YouTube's always gonna be my number one priority. It's just interesting that serialized content isn't the best on YouTube. Like, if I made 10 episodes and 30-minute episodes of something, it just doesn't belong on YouTube. It just doesn't. And I don't even think YouTube themselves would argue that. You know what I mean?
It's meant to be viewed as individual pieces.
Yeah, as of right now.
Yeah, as of right now.
And I also just, like, there's a lot of people that use Netflix that don't watch YouTube, and so it'd be cool just to, like, make content for them, and also just, like, test our limits. Like, because I do think, well, I don't know how to say I don't have an ego, and I don't care. Like, this doesn't matter to me, but I do think a lot of people are like, oh, well, he's just good at gaming the YouTube algorithm, even though, like, we have you know, hundreds of people that work on our videos, multi-million-dollar productions that no one else in the world could do for what the money we spend. Like, what would take Hollywood $20 million, I can do for 2, you know what I mean? And we're consistently churning out some of, you know, the best content you can find, you know what I mean, better than anyone else. So, but a lot of people are like, oh, it just games the YouTube algorithm. So I'd love to, like, you know, jump to a new format, just quickly crank out, you know, 10 episodes. I have a great idea, like the largest game show in history with the most contestants in history, with the largest game show prize in history. And I know we could crush it, you know, just using our studio space and everything. And I think it would just go wild on Netflix. And then, I don't know, for me, it'd just be a fun challenge to show, like, no, we're not just gaming YouTube. Like, I can also make a hit Netflix show that, you know, tens of millions of people want to watch. You know, and then just come back to YouTube and keep doing my thing. It'd just be like a little side quest. That's fun.
Because it's not like YouTube would stop. The crazy thing too is if you took time to go do that, it's not like your videos aren't getting viewed on YouTube.
Well, I would still do YouTube.
And you would still make YouTube.
Yeah, I would just figure out a way to do it where it doesn't hurt YouTube. But that
would be super interesting. So you're in talks.
Yeah, we already know what we're gonna do. It's just figuring out, like,
who's gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, because, like, if it's 10 episodes, I mean, like, on YouTube, some videos I'm spending up to $4 million. So, like, if I'm doing a 10-episode show, and, I mean, in bare bones, if I wanted to stay the same as my YouTube channel, I mean, that'd be $40 million. But if I want to elevate it even more, which you should on a streaming platform, I mean, it gets pretty crazy. So it's just a lot of money. And so just figuring out, like, do I want to do it myself and then, like, go to them and just be like, hey, here it is. You don't get to tell me what to cut or anything. I just swear to God, it'll crush. Or do I partner with one of them on the front end so they can help alleviate the costs and they get it? I don't know. I've never done it before. So kind of figuring it out.
Are there some things you know you would do differently on a streamer because it's not on YouTube?
Well, yeah. I mean, the everything would breathe a whole lot more. So we would pick things that, well, like, also, like, you don't have to, like, hook people as much. Like, I don't have to, you know, so after I get people through episode 1, you know, they're invested in the characters we would have in these game shows, and they, you know, so I don't have to, like, be screaming at the start of all of them and convince them to watch. They're watching, you know what I mean? But it'd be so awesome. Like, I mean, picture, like, Squid Game, but, like, 10x. Like, that's what I would do, you know, with the set. But also, obviously, actual Squid Game, not ours, was scripted. You know, this would be unscripted. And so, like, but picture those same crazy sets and experiences, but unscripted, where it's actual, real, raw emotion with, you know, I don't know if it's 1,000 or 10,000 people that dwindle it down to 1 competing for the largest cash prize in history. It'd be awesome, you know, especially now that we're getting better at storytelling and how to build characters and stuff. I'd love to take all that knowledge we've learned and just apply it to a longer format. It'd be so much fun.
It's so interesting you bring that up about, like, the different environments and what the viewer expectation is and what the creator does in those environments. We've been talking about it in the terms of permission and interruption. So, like, if I buy a ticket to a movie and I go sit in a movie theater. You know how weird it would be if I left after 70% of the movie? You know, or like 30% of the movie.
You're a lot more willing to, like, you know, grind through some, like, dull moments.
Exactly. And so that's, like, permission. Like, the audience has given you permission to tell you this 2-hour story or an hour and a half story. But on YouTube or TikTok, it's like kind of interruption. It's like this thumbnail is meant to interrupt your feed and make you so curious that you click through, and then you know you need to keep.
And then in the first 30 seconds, you got to explain why it's important. And it's like you basically it's like you're a salesman, you're a salesman, you're a salesman. If you do it right around the 1 minute mark, now you're not a salesman. You got them convinced. They bought with their eyeballs. Now it's just like, here's what you came for.
Yeah,
Enjoy
it's
it.
so interesting. Man.
Yeah.
That's such a
Whereas
different
like
environment.
movies are so opposite, man.
Yeah.
Like it's so brutal when you sit through like 5 minutes of like shit just popping up on the screen before a movie, and I'm like, why?
like
Why is this necessary?
title sequences and
can you
kinda
think?
like
Do you remember
exposition.
any name in any movie you've ever watched that popped up? Like, why is that so necessary? Can we just move on? Like,
yeah, just send us a text.
can you just put it at the end? Like literally, just put it at the end. Like at the end of every movie, just have fireworks pop up, make it cool. Have the main characters just be like walking back and forth.
Yeah.
Then put the names at the top,
or do like the outtakes or like extra scenes,
or at least put
whatever.
their face up there. Like if you put their name with like a little face, then I'd be like, oh, and maybe
who
I'd
is
start
that
to like recognize.
It's so interesting. Like credits haven't been changed in movies.
I know, it's wild.
Yeah, it's so strange.